Welcome back to another informative and exciting episode of podcast where we cover everything cannabis and hemp. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so, as this will help us sustain our channel. And remember to cannabis responsibly at all times. Welcome to another episode of podcast. I'm your host Mo, and I'm joined by the very talented cannabis fabric expert, or should I say cannabis textile, Miss Lache, all the way in Cape Town. How are you doing, my darling?
I am doing wonderful, Mo, and thank you so much for having me on your channel. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your patience. Um, okay, let's tap right into it, my darling friend. Can you please just explain what your name, your business name, Kokopelli means, and where did you get the name from?
Okay, so basically, to answer your question, is Kokopelli is an ancient deity which existed in the Hopi tribe of South American natives. And
Okay.
basically, his story is that he's depicted as a kind of a hunchback flute player. And the fact that he plays flute is basically represents that he's the spirit of music, or he's the deity of music.
Mm-hmm.
And his second characteristic that we have for Kokopelli is basically every time he plays music, he changes seasons from autumn to spring for harvest to grow. So he's also seen as the spirit of agriculture, or the god of agriculture. And whatever village he stops at as a gypsy traveler, he always spreads joy and love, and he plays music for the people, and he brings the people together with stories and entertainment. And he also carries a sack of fertility seeds on his back. So whatever woman in the village cannot bear children or conceive children, he'll basically shares fertility seeds with these women. So he's also seen as the spirit of agriculture.
Ah,
So we decided, yeah. So it's agriculture, it's music, it's fertility. He's a storyteller. He's just an all-round awesome individual. And we were like, we need to use his story and basically create a business around it, or create a lifestyle or empire. So we basically took the music side of his characteristic, and we thought, you know what, because we're from Africa, and you know what, Africans, we love music. We thrive on music. It's factory fitted in us as Africans. Basically, with the music side, we thought we can use this platform to uplift communities, because in communities, this is where you find all the gems, and they just need a platform to, showcase what South Africa has as talent and put us on
yeah.
the global map. We heavy contenders in the music industry, Black Coffee, Amapiano, all of these big stars.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure with the talent we have here, we just need to give them a platform. Then that's the music side. So with the agricultural side is this is where the hemp comes in. So we decided to look into ways that we can, uplift the environment, help sustainability, because the planet is going to be there for us and our children one day. So we need to
Yeah.
make sure we look after it.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be a collective agreement where we all come together and say, look, this is the changes we need to make. And this is where in 2016 I found an interview of Tony Bandon on Carte Blanche. And he had the hemp house in Noordhoek, and he had Emporium. And I thought, you know what? I need to have a meeting with this guy. Anyway, long story short, I sat in a meeting with him, and he told me, Lashe, I don't know if you believe in connections and people need to meet for different reasons, but I had Kokopelli on my surfboard when I was 18. So, like, I feel there's a connection. You and I, we need to work together. And then
Beautiful.
what happened? I know, I'm loving this for the whole story. And and what we did is we decided basically to try out and create a fashion range. So all of our clothing was primarily designed by me, and we would give our textiles or the fabrics to upliftment projects in Kayalicha, like Learn to Earn. So we can basically uplift communities, get people off the streets, and give them opportunities.
I love that.
And this is
I
this
love
is what Kokopelli is all about. You know, it's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
helping the environment, helping communities. Let's create an environment and a togetherness that's around a plant, which can create so many businesses in South Africa. You
Mm,
know, and there's a lot of opportunity here. It's just about sharing the information, sharing the knowledge, and
100%.
making people aware of what this is. And this is why I took a break in 2017 because of the mindset of South Africa wasn't ready for the hemp, for what
Yeah.
the hemp was about. And like I told you previously, like people were calling it daga clothing and can I smoke
Daga
my
is
sleeve?
gaga, as they would say. Daga is gaga. Yeah.
You see. So people's mindsets weren't ready. So I went on a education rampage where knowledge is power, and I created information brochures. And then, as you know, I left the country for 5 years. I lived in Asia, and then when South Africa legalized cannabis, I decided to come back home and start my journey again, and give life to Kokopelli again, because I thought people will be a bit more open-minded and people will be maybe a bit more educated in what hemp was about. But still today, people are still not understanding the concept of hemp. And
True.
like I was explaining to you previously, um, in ancient Korea times when someone in the family would pass away, they would have to wear basically mourning clothes, where they basically funeral clothes for
Yeah.
a month up to 3 years, depending on the position and the importance of the person in the family. And because of the durability of the different fabrics, they decided to change their clothing or their funeral clothing into hemp because of the durability, because it's the strongest fibers known to man. And also, I was saying at the Cannabis Expo, I met the Afrikaans guy and he told me his opa used to werk op the skipper, Jan van Riebeeck times, and they used to wear cotton shirts on the ships. And because of the salt water and because of the obviously the wear and tear of their workmanship they did, their clothing would always break. So
Awesome.
they decided they were going to just change their uniforms to hemp. And because hemp is the strongest fiber known to man, it lasted them 10 times longer than the cotton t-shirt lasted them. So it
Imagine
lasted
that.
them years. Yeah, so it was all about quality over quantity at the end of the day. And because they worked in the sea waters, the fibers were super absorbent, right?
Mm,
Because it's the strongest fiber, hemp doesn't wear out. It wears in. The more you wear it, the more you wash it, which is great.
mm.
So the fibers get a chance to relax over a period of years. And then also because of they worked in the sun, it's also UV resistant. So which means that they were also protected by dangerous sun rays. They were able to work in water because it's absorbent, and when they used to sweat because of the work, that you wouldn't get these spots, these water spots, sweat spots under your armpits. It would just absorb.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they decided to change the whole uniform strategy to hemp everything. And that is why he says today in Afrikaans, when you say this my hemp, it's because back in the day all the shirts were made out of hemp. So
Imagine
that
that.
is why.
That is mind blowing. Imagine. So the name hemp comes from the actual hemp. That's why. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
that's
That is a
exactly.
beautiful story. Thank you for
That's
that.
my hemp.
Thank you for that. You learn
You're
something
wild.
every single day. You learn something. Now,
You're wild. 100%.
you mentioned that the reason why you were interested, obviously, in the Queen Mother plant is due to you seeing what Tony was doing, right? But what interested you to tap into that avenue when you know that not a lot of people, you are the only individual that I know, honestly speaking. If there's somebody out there that I'm not aware of, I'm sorry, but she's the only person in the country that I'm aware of that makes fabric, um, makes clothing made out of hemp.
Yeah.
Now, bringing this fabric, obviously you have to import it, right? Because there are no
Yeah.
hemp facilities in the country, only test facilities.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm sure that that whole process is tedious, it's expensive. Can you just please just talk us through that whole process?
Okay, so at the moment, like you rightfully said, we are still in the infancy process of trying to get the correct consistency of crops. Obviously, we have to test out what is the end product South Africa quality can produce. Is it on an international global level? Like what are standards we're working towards? Now we're still at the point, like the Canada plan, where they're still trying to create regulations and all of these different laws and regulations. So nobody really has an idea of what is stable, because it's still a plan in process, because it's obviously a new concept, it's a new industry.
Yeah,
um and they have to, like I told you, 28 billion rand was put aside for this industry. Just to jump back to your previous question about how the pricing and so on and so forth. First of all, hemp is at the moment to import, it's very expensive. Now, when I say very expensive, if I must compare cotton to hemp, your cotton t-shirt 23 rand a meter, your hemp t-shirt 170 rand a meter,
yeah,
depending on inflation rates, depending on all the amount of quality you buy. But here's the thing, even though you're spending 150 rand more on hemp, you know that this garment is going to last you for 10 years. You know what I mean? You know the benefits this garment has for you. And once you're done wearing your garment, you plant your garment because it's biodegradable. So, why are we not moving into sustainable fashion? We don't always smoke weed every day. We don't always use these beauty and cannabis products every day, but you wear clothing every day. You sleep in a bed every day, which your bedding could be made out of hemp. You're saving money, you
yeah,
basically save money. You are literally choosing to buy one product which you've never heard of Kokopelli before, but it's made out of hemp, which people are still trying to understand the concept. Now,
mm,
why must you buy this when you can buy a Nike cotton
mm,
t-shirt? You know what I mean?
mm.
So once people understand the concept, they will choose hemp over a name brand, because you are telling people, number one, you care about the future of your planet, because look at what you are doing. You are moving into a sustainable lifestyle where you want to wear plants, you want to be nature orientated, you want to be, community orientated. And this is what Kokopelli stands for. It's
Mm,
uplift the environment, uplift communities. Government's not going to do it, so we have to do it as the people. You know what I mean? So be a leader in the industry, and it's not, and it hasn't been easy, like you said. And many people actually walk up to me and they tell me, "Well done that you're still here." Like, people have left the industry, and I actually want to cry, because I'm like, you don't actually understand the struggles. Like, thank you, you've noticed,
and
and
you
that
know,
just motivates me. You know what I mean?
and I admire that because a lot of people have this perception, right, that the cannabis industry is like this $1 billion industry and everything. But what they are not realizing is that in South Africa, we are just catching on to what the Europeans are doing, what the Americans are
Yeah,
doing. So we are not at their stand. We are not on their standard.
yeah,
Just you know. So there's a
yeah,
lot of people within the community, the cannabis, that are struggling. I know that for a fact. I mean, you putting
yeah,
in your own money to make this thing work. I'm putting in my own
exactly,
money along with my business partners to make podcasts work so that we
exactly,
can be able to educate as many people as they can. I know so many
exactly.
other people that are doing the same thing. So this perception that this thing is easy, my goodness. Mm-mm-mm.
No,
Cannabis industry is not
no,
easy, guys. They need to get that
no.
out of their heads and understand that it's the most. I don't know who is making it. The ones that are making it are quite fortunate. Good for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to
Mm,
tap into
mm.
why they're making it, why we're not making it. It doesn't really matter. Kudos to them that
Yeah,
they found a way to make it. So I just wish they could just calm down, and share the knowledge
exactly.
as to how they were able
Exactly.
to succeed, because there's so many other people who would value that,
Exactly.
you know. Yeah, we're not really
Exactly.
together as the community, as the plan should be bringing us. So it's a really,
100.
yeah, it's really sad that this Queen Mother plant is there to unite us, but yeah, everyone is just
Yeah,
out for themselves, which is not a bad thing,
exactly.
but it is what it is.
Exactly.
But
At the end of the day, it's going to try and be monopolized any which way, as per everything. You know what I mean? So here's my thing. I also take my hat off to the original rasters that actually started growing the plant and using it for their own ritual, their own religious purposes and eating it for health reasons. And now they are taking over these people's opportunity that were the original growers, even
isn't
in
it
the Eastern
sad?
Cape. You know what I mean?
It is
And I'm
sad.
like, do we not put them first? Like, do we not like be like you guys were here in the beginning? Like, do we not put them on a platform also? You know what I mean?
You obviously have explained the challenges that you have come across, but I know also that government has been assisting you in some way.
Mm,
Are you able
yes.
to share that with us, for those that are actually watching, to see how they too, if they want to tap into the cannabis fabric lifestyle, what it is, what steps they
Yeah.
should follow so that government can also assist them?
Okay. First of all, before you get to government, you have to understand that government doesn't just answer your emails and doesn't just answer your phone
Don't I
calls
know it?
at at any point. So because I'm persistent like that, I secretly snuck to the building of Cedar, and I chilled in the lobby until someone eventually went in the elevator, and then I just looked for the floor where they were on. And I waited till somebody saw me because I'm not going to wait. Like I have a dream, I have a mission. You are prolonging my situation. So number one, have determination.
And
Step one
patience.
is
Determination and patience. Yeah.
and patience.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know about this, you see. So now, so eventually, I came ready. I came with all my samples. I came with all of my information. I came with all of my videos of the woman I used in Kaya Licha. Like I came with a presentation. I came ready. Number two, be prepared for the meeting that could change your life. It could happen at any point. You know what I mean?
Always stay ready, so
and
you have to be ready. I understand. I understand. I understand.
yeah.
Okay.
The
All right.
moment could be at any point. So I luckily was prepared and I basically got a meeting with a business agent and I pitched them my whole plan and she called in more people to come and feel the fabric because they've never heard of hemp before. So now I had to educate them about, so this is the marijuana plant, okay? And now I have to do the whole education session first,
Yeah.
so luckily, I was prepared with the pictures as well. So, I've been in the game for years. I know education is key here. So I had to
It
be a
is key, my
teacher. I
friend.
have to
Yeah.
be a teacher, you know? So I educated them about what it was, and I like, this is amazing, right? How do we help you? What do you need from us? And then they basically got me on the application, signed me up, and
Application
yeah,
for?
with them
Application for?
an application to see what is the funding you require for your
Ah,
business.
okay. Okay.
So step one, you must first have a good pitch. If they say we accept you, then you go to the next stage, which is we give you an application, you give us funding, how much funding you need, you get all the quotations, you do your business plan, and then we compile the application form, and then we'll put it in for review.
Hmm.
So I'm in
Okay.
the review phase with Cedar, but DT, I've also come to the party. They've been kind enough, and thank God I'm grateful for this, is that they've been paying for my cannabis expo stalls, and they've
I'm glad that government is assisting. I mean, government has always
yeah,
been given a bad name and everything.
yeah,
They are
yeah,
there are those individuals within the government institute that are really
yes,
helpful. You
yes,
just need
I
to know what
agree.
door to knock on and be patient. You know.
Be persistent and patient. That's the key.
Yeah. Okay. We are almost out of time, but let's just continue. All right, and then so tell us now, what is your vision? Where is it that you want to take Kokopelli to? I know you want to educate a lot of people on the fact that the cannabis plant is just not for smoking. There's the industrial side of it, and also educate them on the fact that the clothing that you're wearing can last you for so long. If you just take this plant, the male plant of it, obviously the male plant of
Yeah.
cannabis, and you produce fabrics out of it. Are you going to be hosting any seminars or workshops in terms of showcasing this to future
Definitely,
to future
definitely.
fashionistas or people in the fashion industry? Is this
You're
your
gonna
way?
be one of my models. Like you're gonna model for me. I'm
Of
gonna have a music
course,
festival
100.
that government is going to sponsor me with. I'm manifesting this. Government is sponsoring me with a Kokopelli Music Festival. We're gonna have a fashion show, and we'll showcase everyone in the cannabis industries. We can have stalls, have a family day, jumping castles for the kids, and
Awesome,
like make it a family day.
awesome.
Like have activities and have like up and coming musicians to sing on the stage wearing Kokopelli and hemp clothing. We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
sponsor musicians to like put them on the map. Like let's blow up. It's time to shine. Like
It's
I've
time to
I've been
shine. You go
time to
big or you go
shine.
home, my friend. You go big or
Yeah,
you
I'm here. I'm not going home. I can only go big.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's quite crucial for us to step away from just the recreational side of the cannabis plant,
Yeah,
and because there's so much that you can do with the industrial side, not just textile. And I think the focus needs to be on that. So we're going to follow up this interview with you
yeah,
basically showing us the process of you getting well, it's fabrics into the
yeah,
country, that whole process, so that people can understand what it is that you're going through, for those that are watching that want to do what it is that you're doing and they just don't know how to start. You know what I'm saying? So we will
yeah.
definitely be following up the interview with other episodes to showcase what it is that people can do in order for them to thrive within the cannabis industry.
There we go. I'm
Yes, so
loving this.
I just want to thank you for your time, my friend. It was, yeah, no, it was not easy, but
But it was worth it, honey.
it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. So you must have a beautiful day further. I
Oh,
know the weather in Cape Town is just terrible at the moment.
it's
Um,
not ideal.
I hope you keep it
Yeah.
very warm.
Yeah, but thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this journey with you. And I only know that it's only the way up for us. Like
There's
that's the
no
only
other
way we
way.
can go.
We're only going up.
So let's one way, honey.
And on that
Thank you
note,
so much.
please do remember to cannabis responsibly at all times. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share buttons below. We would also appreciate your comments. And remember to cannabis responsibly at all times.